Hi friends, this is Narsimara Erramnini. Today we are discussing what are the previous questions asked in group 14 elements. Okay, previous questions in group 14 elements in IIT JEE exam. Okay, regarding this, the first question is the graphite is a soft solid lubricant extremely difficult to melt. Extremely, even though it is soft, but it is very difficult to melt. The reason for this anomalous behavior of graphite is dash. Okay, the given options are: it is allotropic form of diamond. It is true, but it is not correct answer for this question. Okay, diamond is graphite is allotropic form of diamond. Both are allotropes with each other. But that reason is not correct for this answer. Okay, question. And second one is graphite has molecules of variable molecular masses like polymer. It is quite wrong. And third one is graphite has carbon atoms arranged in a large plates. Large plates. It means it has layer structure. Layer structure. And that plates rings are strongly bonded in that rings. Plates of rings of strongly bonded carbon atoms with weak interplated bonds. Weak van der Waals force of attractions are present between two layers according to this option. Okay, the main meaning of this option is in graphite structure each carbon is connected to three other carbons like this. In this graphite, carbon undergo sp2 hybridization. sp2 hybridization like this. So each carbon is connected to three other carbons like this. For example, this is considered as a carbon. It is connected with another one carbon, second carbon, third carbon like this. So similarly, here so many carbons are connected to other three carbons. Okay, this is one layer. Similarly, another layer is also like this. Here each layer having one layer is connected with another layer with a weak van der Waals forces of attraction. Weak van der Waals forces of attraction. Due to the presence of that layer structure and layers having weak van der Waals force of attraction, so one layer can easily slide with another layer. That's why graphite acts as a lubricant. But it has high melting point. Why? Because each carbon is connected with another three carbon with strong covalent bond. Strong covalent bond. That's why the melting point of graphite is very high, even though it is soft substance. The energy required to break the bond between any two carbons is very high. Very high. That's why the melting point of graphite is very high, even though it is having smooth or soft substance. The soft nature is due to the presence of weak van der Waals forces present between the two successive layers. Okay, like this. So correct option is third one. Correct option is third one. And fourth option is it is non-crystalline substance. It is quite wrong. Graphite is a crystalline allotrope of carbon. Diamond and graphites are crystalline allotropes of carbon. Okay, so the correct apt option is third option. Okay, the next question is in silicon dioxide. Silicon dioxide formula is SiO2. SiO2. Okay, in silicon dioxide, the question regarding to the structure of silica or silicon dioxide. Okay, each silicon atom is surrounded by the 4 oxygen atoms and each oxygen atom is bonded by 2 silicon atoms. Okay, that is the first option. If you observe the three-dimensional sheet-like structure of silicon dioxide, in that structure, each silicon atom is connected to 4 other oxygen atoms. Similarly, each oxygen atom also connected to each oxygen atom is also connected to 4 silicon atoms like this. Here now this oxygen is also connected to silicon atom. This is the structure of silicon dioxide. Silicon dioxide. If you observe this silicon atom is connected to 4 oxygen atoms. Similarly, each oxygen atom is connected to 2 silicon atoms. If you take any oxygen atom connected to 2 silicon atoms like that. So first option is the correct option. In silicon dioxide, each silicon atom is connected to 4 other oxygen atoms. Similarly, each oxygen atom is connected to 2 silicon atoms in silicon dioxide, or simply it is also called silicon. Okay. Okay, the question is among the following substituted sea lanes, the one which will give the cross-linked silicon polymer on hydrolysis is dash. Okay, the one which gives rise to cross-linked silicon polymer is dash on hydrolysis. Okay, so the first option is R4Si. R4Si. It can't undergo hydrolysis. It cannot undergo hydrolysis. And the second option is Si bond R bond Cl, Cl bond Cl. If this molecule undergo hydrolysis means react with water to break the bond between the silicon and the chlorine to form silanols, like this, OH, OH, OH. Now this silanol OH, OH, OH undergo condensation to form cross-linking bonds, like this, Si bond R bond O bond O bond O. So it can able to form cross-linking bonds like this. So it can able to, only this molecule can able to form cross-linking bonds. So the correct option is second one. In case of third one, it can able to form straight chain polymer. Okay, it's like that. So in case of third one, it can unable to form only it can dimeric molecule is formed. It cannot able to form polymer also. First option, this molecule cannot undergo hydrolysis. In case of fourth one, only it forms silanols, then that silanols undergo condensation to form only dimerization. It can able to form dimeric molecule. In case of third option, it can able to form long straight chain molecule, and it can unable to form branched, or it can unable to form like cross linkings. Why? Because it can has only 2 hydroxy groups. The 2 hydroxy groups can able to form long chain straight chain polymer. But in case of second option, it can able to form cross linkings due to the presence of 3 hydroxy groups. Due to the presence of 3 hydroxy groups, it can able to form cross-linked polymer. So the correct option is RSiCl3. Okay friends, the next question is, it is a matching type question. Here column 1, column 2 options are there. In first column 1 options are silica gel, We know that silica gel is a famous for one of the major component used in the thin layer chromatography, and it is also used as a moisture absorbent like drying agent. So the correct matching option is for silica gel is third one. Correct option for silica gel is third one. Okay, it is used as a drying agent or moisture absorbent, and also used as a one of the component in chromatography. Okay, chromatography used as a absorbent. And next one is silicon. Silicon is also used as a, we know that silicon means Si. It is used as a semiconductor as well as transistor. PN junction diode transistors. We know that semiconductor. Silicon used as a semiconductor. So second for B, silicon for second option is correct option is a transistor. So one correct matching option is one for silicon, that is transistor. Next one is silicon. Already we discussed in the previous question. Silicon means it is a one type of rubber, inorganic rubber. It is used as a sealant, manufacturing of tires, tubes, and sealant. So this correct option for the silicon is fourth one. It is used as a sealant. And silicate. Silicate, we know that in case of zeolite, sodium aluminum silicate, it is one type of ion exchange resin. Ion exchange resin to remove the hardness of water, hardness causing substance in water. Okay, we know that in it is one of the important compound in zeolite, sodium aluminum silicate. So silicate used as a exchange resin, ion exchange resin. So the correct option for the silicate is second one. Correct option for silicate is second one. So silica A is third one. So first option is the correct option. First option is the correct option for this matching question. Okay, silica gel used. We know that silica gel is the famous for chromatography technique as well as drying agent. And second one is silicon. We know that silicon atom, silicon, germanium are the best examples of semiconductors, and used as a transistors also, manufacturing of transistors. And third one is silicone. Silicone is a one type of inorganic rubber, polymer rubber. Okay, it is used as a sealant and manufacturing of tires and tubes also. Okay, and silicate is one of the component molecule in zeolite. That zeolite is used to remove the hardness causing substance in water. So it is used as a ion exchange resin. So the correct matching options are 3 for A, 1 for B, 4 for C, and 2 for D. Okay, so correct option is first one. Correct option is first one. Okay, like that. Okay, friends, the next question is, among the carbon allotropes like diamond and graphite, diamond is insulators, whereas graphite is good conductor of electricity. We know that diamond is insulator and graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Okay, so assertion is correct. Assertion is correct. And the reason for that assertion is the hybridization of carbon in diamond and graphite are sp3 and sp2 respectively. It is also correct. The hybridization of carbon in diamond is sp3. Similarly, the hybridization of carbon in graphite is sp2. That is also correct. But the reason is not correct explanation for that assertion. Reason is not correct explanation for that assertion. Both are correct. Here, the insulator property of diamond is due to the absence of free electrons. Absence of free electron. But graphite acts as a good conductor due to the presence of free electrons. We know that carbon has 4 electrons. Carbon has 4 electrons. If you observe the electronic configuration, excited state electronic configuration of that carbon is 2s1, 1s2, 2s1, 2px1, 2py1, and 2pz1. Okay, only here 4 orbitals are involved in hybridization. The fourth one is empty. Fourth one is does not participate in hybridization. So, due to the presence of only each carbon is connected to 3 other carbons due to the presence of free electrons at each carbon contain 1 free electron. Why? Because it undergo sp2 hybridization. Okay, that free electron is responsible for the electrical property, conducting property of that graphite. But in case of diamond, that 4 electrons are involved in bonding, hybridization. That's why each carbon is connected to 4 other carbons in diamond like this. That's why diamond is a bad conductor of electricity, or it acts as an insulator. But diamond is a good conductor of electricity. It acts as a conductor due to the presence of free electron. So both are correct, but the reason is not correct explanation for A assertion. The reason is due to the presence of free electrons in graphite, it acts as a good conductor, and due to the absence of free electrons, that 4 electrons involved in the completely bonding, strong bonding, covalent bond, that's why tightly held by the 2 nucleus. That's why that diamond acts as an insulator, graphite acts as a good conductor. That is the correct reason for assertion, this assertion. Okay, but both are correct, but not correct explanation for the A assertion. Okay. Okay friends, the next question is, in graphite and diamond, the percentage of p character of hybridized orbitals in hybridization are respectively dash. Okay, it means what is the percentage of p orbital in hybridized orbitals of diamond and graphite. Hybridized orbitals of diamond and graphite. Okay, we know that in case of diamond, each carbon undergo sp3 hybridization. But in case of graphite, each carbon undergo sp2 hybridization. Okay, in hybridization phenomena, we know that in case of sp2 hybridization, the percentage of s orbital is 25. The percentage of p orbital is 75 in case of sp3 hybridization. Similarly, in case of sp2 hybridization, the percentage of s orbital is 33.3 and the percentage of p character or p orbital is 66.6. Okay, so the correct option for this is respectively 75. First one is 75. Okay, percentage p character in graphite. Graphite is the first one. That's why here p character is 66.66 means it considered as a 67%. So second one is 75%. 75 respectively means options sometimes we can confuse it. So first you have to consider as a graphite percentage p character, and then we can consider as a diamond percentage. So the correct option is 67 and 75, but not 75 and 67. Okay, sometimes they confuse you. Okay, they will confuse you. Oh, it's okay. The correct option is 67 and 75, but not 75 and 67. It is wrong option. Okay, 67 and 75 is the correct option for this question. If sometimes they may ask reverse manner, diamond and graphite, in that case this one is the correct option. So you have to carefully read the question. That is the first thing, important thing. Okay, so correct option is 67 and 75%. Okay. So the next question is, the chloride that cannot get hydrolyzed is dash. The options are SnCl4, SiCl4, PbCl4 and CCl4. Okay, in fourth group already we studied about that anomalous properties of this carbon. The halides of carbon does not undergo. The halides of carbon do not undergo hydrolysis due to absence of empty d orbitals. Due to absence of empty d orbitals, the halides of carbon do not undergo hydrolysis. That is the major important property, anomalous property of that carbon. Okay, so the correct option is CCl4. What happens if presence of, due to the presence of that empty orbital, how that empty orbitals are help to hydrolysis of these halides means, due to the presence of, if you observe the mechanism of that hydrolysis reaction, general hydrolysis reaction is SiCl4 plus H2O gives rise to SiCl3OH, SiCl3OH. Then it undergo hydrolysis again and again 3 times, completely SiOH, selenol is formed like this, SiOH4 is formed like that. Here, if you observe mechanism for this reaction, due to the presence of that empty orbital, empty d orbital, silicon and other atoms, first of all, the lone pair of electrons present in that oxygen atom of water form bond with the silicon atom by using these empty orbitals. The lone pair of electrons present in oxygen atom of water molecule form a bond with the silicon atom by using this empty 3d orbital. Empty 3d orbital. But in case of carbon, there is no availability of empty 3d or 2d orbitals. Okay, so like that. So here, first the bond is formed like this. Here the water molecule, this OH, this H molecule removes like H plus ions. Finally, the bond is formed like this. Cl, Cl, Cl and Cl. Now, one of the Cl molecule, silicon chlorine bond is undergo breaking to form SiCl3 and OH. Like this. Again, another molecule, again regenerate, empty d orbital is regenerated. So by using that regenerate empty d orbital, another water molecule also combined. So like this, totally all chlorine atoms are converted to OH molecules, replaced by OH molecules of water. This reaction is called hydrolysis reaction. Hydrolysis reaction. Due to absence of these empty orbitals, empty d orbitals, the halides of carbon do not participate in hydrolysis reaction. That is the important anomalous property of carbon. Important anomalous property of carbon. You can remember this point. Okay. Okay, friends. The next question is the element that does not show catenation property is dash. Options are germanium, silicon, tin, lead. All these are belongs to 4A group. That is nothing but carbon family. In that family, the elements are carbon, silicon, germanium, tin, lead. Here we know that in this group, from top to bottom, the catenation property is decreased. So lead is least element. Lead is the least element. Lead has least catenation property. Lead has least catenation property. So this element doesn't show catenation property. So then what is catenation property? Catenation property means the element which can able to form a long chain by the self-linking with its elements, with its other elements. It means carbon can form a long chain with other carbon by connecting with the other carbon atoms. In periodic table, entire periodic table, among that 118 elements, carbon has highest catenation property. Carbon has highest catenation property. That's why across the world, thousands new organic compounds are nothing but carbon compounds are synthesized. New carbon compounds are synthesized in our life, across the world. Okay, so carbon has highest catenation property and lead has the least catenation property in periodic table. So it cannot show the catenation property. It cannot show the catenation property. So correct option is lead, that is fourth option. Catenation means the element which can able to form long chain by self-linking with same elements of other atoms, through a covalent bond. In that periodic table, among that 118 elements, carbon has highest catenation property and lead has least catenation property. That's why lead does not show catenation property. Okay. Okay, friends, the next question is, in C60, an allotrope of carbon contains. C60 is an allotrope of carbon. C60 is nothing but it is a polarine. Okay, diamond, graphite, like this. Polarine is also one type of allotrope of carbon. Okay, this polarine has cage-like structure. In Telugu it is called panjaram. Okay, cage-like structure. That polarine contains 6-membered rings and 5-membered rings. This is the 5-membered ring and this is the 6-membered ring. Okay, there are so many types of polarines are there. Okay, the first observed polarine is C60 polarine. It is unfortunately identified in the preparation of carbon nanotubes. Okay, the shape of this structure looks like the dome designed by the Buckminster polarine. So, due to honor to him, this is called polarine. Okay, so the first unfortunately identified polarine is C60. Then we can prepare so many polarines like C20, C80 and C240 like that. So many polarines are prepared. This number 60, 20, 80, 240 indicates the vertex. Number of vertex. Okay, here if you take any type of polarine must be contain 12 5-membered ring. 12 5-membered rings. 12 5-membered rings must be contain any type of polarine. And variable number of 6-membered rings. 6-membered rings are changed. Every type of polarine must be contain 12 5-membered rings and variable number of 6-membered rings. In case of this C60 polarine contain 12 5-membered rings and 20 6-membered rings. If you observe the options, first option is 12 6-membered rings, hexagons means 6-membered rings and 20 pentagons. In case of second option, 20 hexagons, 12 pentagons. In case of third option, 16 hexagons and 16 pentagons. In case of fourth option, 18 hexagons and 14 pentagons. We observe the options only in case of second option. If you don't know about that 6-membered rings, the clue is to select this correct option is in that among that option only in case of second option 12 pentagons are present. That is the clue. In all other cases, the pentagonal number is changed. If you take any type of polarine, the basic rule is any type of polarine, either it is maybe C60 or it may be C20 or C80, C240. 5-membered rings are fixed, pentagonals are fixed. That is 12. The number is 12. If you take any type of polarine, that is the basic rule. Variable number of hexagonals are present based on the number of vertex. Okay, so the correct option is, we can easily find out the correct option, that is the second one, by using the number of pentagons. The pentagonal number doesn't change, doesn't vary from one type of polarine to another type of polarine. And another thing is, in that case structure, like buckyball structure, if you observed, each 5-membered ring is surrounded by 6-membered ring. Each 5-membered ring is surrounded by 6-membered ring like this. Each 5-membered ring is surrounded by, must be surrounded by 6-membered ring. This is 5-membered ring, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6 like this. But 6-membered rings are surrounded by either 5-membered rings or 6-membered rings. You remember this point also. Okay, so the correct option is second one. Correct option is second one. Okay. Okay, the question is the number of pentagons in C60 and trigons or triangles in white phosphorus respectively or dash. Okay, number of 5-membered rings or pentagons in C60 and number of triangles or trigons in white phosphorus. Okay, already in previous question already we discussed any type of C60 is one type of polar ring. In that polar ring contains C60 polar ring contains 12 5-membered rings. Okay, it is clear. And so according to this, the correct options are either 1 or 4. 1 or 4. Second and third options are eliminated. Second and third options are eliminated. Okay. According to C60 polar ring, the correct options are either 1 and 4. Okay, if you don't know about that white phosphorus, you can select the correct option among two. Is a easy process, then select the one option among the 4. That is a difficult process. So 50-50 chances are there. If you know the about only that polar ring, that is C60. It is a basic important rule. Any type of polar ring must be contain 12 5-membered rings. So according to this rule, the correct options are 1 and 4. Second and third options are eliminated. So you can select the best option among these two, 1 and 4. So the second one is white phosphorus. The formula of white phosphorus is 4. In this white phosphorus, each phosphorus is connected to 3 other phosphorus atoms like this. 3 other phosphorus atoms like this. So here this phosphorus is connected with other 3 phosphorus atoms like this. Here number of trigons or triangles are present. This is one triangle, this is one triangle, this is one triangle, this is one triangle. Totally 4 triangles are present in white phosphorus. Totally 4 triangles are present in white phosphorus. So the correct option is fourth one. Correct option is fourth one. Like this, we can, by using this elimination method, we can select the correct options in easy way. Select the correct options in easy way. Okay. Okay, the question is the basic structural unit of feldspar, zeolite, mica and asbestos is dash. Okay, we know that about that zeolite. Zeolite is sodium aluminum silicate. The formula of silicate is SiO4 4 minus. So by using this we can conclude that answer. That is the first option is R2SiO taken n times. That is the basic unit of silicon rubber. That is the basic unit of silicon rubber. Silicon rubber. The second one is called silicate. This is called silicate. The silicate is the basic unit. SiO4 4 minus is the basic unit of asbestos, mica and zeolite. Asbestos, mica and zeolite. Basic unit is silicate, that is SiO4 4 minus. SiO4 4 minus is the basic unit of asbestos, zeolite and mica. Okay. Okay friends, the question is the CC bond length is maximum in dash. Okay, here the correct options are C60, diamond, graphite and C70. Here we know that C60 and C70 are one type of fullerenes. One type of fullerene. Fullerene is a allotrope of carbon. In that fullerene, the hybridization of carbon is sp2. Hybridization of carbon is sp2. Each carbon is connected to 3 other carbons. Okay. In case of graphite, here also each carbon undergo sp2 hybridization. In case of graphite also each carbon is connected to 3 other carbons, so each carbon undergo sp2 hybridization. But in case of diamond, each carbon undergo sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization. Here in both cases the percentage of S character is 33.3. Here the percentage of S character is 25. So the bond length of any bond, depending upon the hybridization, that depends upon the percentage of S character also. So the bond length is inversely proportional to percentage of S orbital, percentage of S character or S orbital. So bond length increases with decrease the percentage of S character, So according to this, diamond has large bond length, Cc bond length, then graphite, fullerene like C60, C70 and graphite. Diamond has, in case of diamond, Cc bond length is more than graphite, C60 and C70. Graphite, C60, C70 all are having same bond length. All are having same Cc bond length. That is in between the carbon-carbon single bond and carbon-carbon double bond. Between the carbon-carbon single bond, neither it is single bond nor it is double bond. It is a intermediate bond. Bond order of carbon-carbon in case of diamond, in case of graphite and C60 fullerene is 1.5. Intermediate between the double bond and single bond. That's why bond length is also intermediate between the double bond and single bond. So all are having same bond length. In case of C60, C70 and graphite, all carbons undergo sp2 hybridization. The percentage of S character is same. So having same bond length. But in case of diamond, each carbon undergo sp3 hybridization, and moreover all carbons are having single bonds. So single bond length is greater than double bond length is greater than triple bond. According to that bond order, we can find out bond order is also inversely proportional to bond length, or percentage of S character is also inversely proportional to bond length. We can take any parameter, we can conclude the answer. Okay, so the correct option is diamond. Diamond has highest Cc bond length than remaining one, that is C60, C70 and graphite. That three also having same bond length due to the same hybridization. Okay. Here the question is, boron and silicon of very high purity can be obtained through which process? The processes are liquefaction, electrolytic refining, zone refining and vapor phase refining. These are the methods for the purification of the metals from their impurity minerals. These are the methods used to get the pure metal from their impure minerals. Okay, so for this obtaining the pure form of boron and silicon is zone refining process. Zone refining process is used to get the pure form of silicon and boron. Okay, for these two elements we use the zone refining process. Okay, depending upon the type of metal and nature of metal, we can select the best method. It depending upon the property of the mineral or type of the metal. Okay, so the best method to get pure form of the boron and silicon is zone refining process. So the correct option is 3. Okay, thank you.